when it's really good. It's like the first time all over again. The performing arts are crazy like that. Whether it's your first time or you just wanted to feel that way, mkearts.com can take you there. The United Performing Arts Fund invites you to experience a night to remember.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, I actually made it to my show, which I really wasn't sure that I was actually going to do that today because, as usual, I've crammed in like 75 things into my day for one. But I'm so excited about today's guest, and I'm very thrilled and honored to have her. And more importantly, she was very gracious enough to cooperate and allow me to interview her today as compared to yesterday. So before we get Valerie on the line, let's just do a couple of quick announcements before I forget. One more nagging as far as the Art is Alive Film Festival, which we all know took place in New York City, is now going on in LA. I've had to postpone things a wee bit, but I'm sure you all know that. So our new deadline for submissions is October 28th. The festival itself is taking place the very first weekend in December. And why does that not suck? Because it's warm in LA. And I get to go there, and I get to be there for the first time with my festival. So this year, super excited. We're going to be screening 20 films instead of 40. We're having a celebrity event. We're going to have live music every night. And this year, as far as submissions in this particular festival, are limited to 3 areas. Shorts and features up to 90 minutes. We have music videos up to 10 minutes. And then we, of course, have TV pilots, which is a first for me, up to 60 minutes. So I've cut the price to one straight, simple, forward $30 across the board. You can either go to my festival website, which is Art is Alive Film Festival, Yola site, artisalivefilmfestival.yolasite.com. And when you get to my website, you can go to the place that says Art is Alive Film Festival Los Angeles. If by some chance you'd rather go the Film Freeway route, please just type in Art is Alive Film Festival Los Angeles. Number 2, relative to my film, 100 Looks of Love, I might have mentioned I need one more boy, one more girl, anywhere from 30 to probably age 55 in the state of Wisconsin. It almost looks like I am completely, I don't want to say sold out, I don't know where that came from, but literally booked up solid as it relates to actors for my first short. That doesn't mean I don't need people for my feature, but let's take one at a time, shall we? So if anybody is interested in applying, auditioning, coming to sit down and talk to me, it is a union project. However, I have both union and non-union folks in there. My direct email address is CIN4251@gmail.com, and then the second one, of course, being the actual 100 Looks of Love, which is actually on Facebook. We're in the process of building a website right now. Obviously, the feature film we've talked about is Love's Two-Way Mirror. It does have a website. It also has a Facebook presence, Love's Two-Way Mirror, so we don't want to forget about that. Reminder to everybody, I've been very gracious with, I've been very fortunate, I should say, with my guest this week, because tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, I am featuring Robert Rosenbaum, who actually happens to be doing work with Valerie. So I'm excited to talk about their project today and tomorrow. So join us tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Robert's production of Sunday in the Park with DOG actually won Best Cinematography at my festival this year. So he'll be joining us tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And I do have a show on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. as well, along with one on Monday and Tuesday. Reminder, I'm in New York City Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week for the NAB convention. So before we get Valerie on the line, let me just say this much. Those of you, and many of you follow me on social media, you already know that we've suffered a loss in our school district community this year, a 12-year-old who was just buried yesterday, and we suspect was a victim of bullying and attempted well, in this case, he died from what we believe to be an apparent suicide. As you know, if you looked at my wall yesterday or this morning, someone that was a guest of mine, as well as somebody that I became friends with, found her, she hung herself, and so she was found in her Manhattan apartment by her husband yesterday. The whole point of bringing this up is there seems to be a trend lately where there are people out there ending their lives. And I cannot impress enough, and we've talked about this on my show a number of times, and I'll say it again, as being a survivor of twice now attempting and having no intention to do so. Just as a reminder for me, the host, to you and anyone that's listening in, whether I've met you or not, whether I've talked to you or not, whether I've been in a public place with you, whether you've ever even spoken to me, if at any given point in time you feel as though you are in danger of harming yourself, if you are in danger of anything at any point in time and you feel you're getting so desperate that no one cares, I do. CIN4251@gmail.com. You can email me. You can send me a Facebook message. You can ask me for my phone number. You can private message me. You can show up at my house. You can come to New York. You can make an appointment with me. I don't give a shit how you find me. I caution everyone who is listening in, this is not a solution. It's nothing more than sadness and emptiness that's left for the people who are behind here. So I ask everyone listening today, if you get a second, please send some prayers and good thoughts to the family of this little boy whose life is lost, as well as for Stacy's family. Stacy Radden is her name. And, of course, she's on my social media page. So I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to listen to me. So without further ado, I'm sure everybody's sick of listening to me now, so you can all listen to the lovely and talented Valerie. Valerie?
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Well, you know, if you listen to that segue, probably not so good, huh? Yeah, it's a rough day today. It's been a rough 2-3 days, actually. I'm sure you know this because I told you that the loss of the child in our district was tough. And then yesterday, that was pretty rough. Stacy was she's a psychologist who was doing a lot in the community for pets, for children, empowering women and children and pets, and she was doing a little bit of everything. Beautiful, beautiful girl. So I was quite shocked, and her publicist and I are very, very good friends, and so it's make no mistake, it's a very, very rough day. Definitely. So you're my anecdote.
Sorry.
Like literally
to
today,
that.
you're like you're like the thing that's going to make me feel better. But if that doesn't work, folks, just so you know, somebody will be having wine, and I'm going with the girls to see A Simple Favor tonight with Blake Lively, the chick flick, the best friend chick flick. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm coming to New York this week, and I'm never unhappy when I come to New York. So I'm like, okay, yes, and my hope is I'm going to see a cute boy while I'm there, too. So we're doing a whole lot of good stuff in the coming week. So I have to get there. But right now I'm interviewing you, and I'm super, super nervous. This is a lot, and I'm going to try to not keep you for 2 hours because you have a little person at home, and I'm, like, deathly afraid, like, is he going to wake up? Are you going to need to, like, walk around with him?
I can't believe it.
Are we on baby watch?
He fell asleep like 3 minutes before I called in. So,
and I bet you're like, oh my
timing.
God, what if he wakes up? Okay, all right. So I'll try to keep us on task here. Okay. Since we started off with the little man. Okay, first of all, the very first time I met Valerie, because I had only met her on social media and we had been talking back and forth in email, and then I finally met her at my festival, and the first thing I said was, oh, holy hell, look at this woman. I'm telling you right now, she looks like she's about 110 pounds. And this girl just had a baby. When I say just had a baby, she just had a baby. And I'm like, I hate you in the best way possible. So I want you to tell my listening audience about your little boo-boo. Oh, my God, her little boy. Oh, my God. You have to talk about the little boo-boo. And then you have to talk about life as trying to juggle being an actress with having the demands of having a baby, because that does change the spectrum, doesn't it?
A little bit. I thought it would a lot more. So, yes, I had a baby 3 months ago, little boy. His name is Malachi, and I have never been so in love in my entire life. He's such a joy. And I thought my career, I thought just getting pregnant, like, oh, it's over, everything's going to end, no one's going to cast me, I'll have to take care of the baby all the time. But I've come to find out it's been quite different than I be. For example, as soon as I got pregnant, I decided to sign up for this film challenge, and that's how I created The Falls, which is now in the film circuit, and that was the first film the first festival we were in was your festival, and I never thought that would come of it. And the point is that I was pregnant while we shot it, and I thought, oh, it's going to be too hard. I'm not going to be able to do it, but I was able to do it. And then from there, I even booked a co-star on Deception on ABC when I was pregnant. They didn't know. I wasn't showing yet. And then I made another film while I was really pregnant. And then even after I had the baby, I've had auditions, I've been able to go, I've been going to film festivals, I've won the award at your festival. I mean, everything's been going way better than I could have ever imagined. I just had a lot of fear that it was going to change my life and I wouldn't be able to get to do what I wanted to do, but it's quite the opposite. Not only do I have a wonderful, beautiful baby at home, I'm also able to do what I love, which is act. And I'm also doing another project right now. I'm producing and starring in another short film. So it doesn't end. It does not end.
Listen to her. She's just going down the road like, here it is. But here's the really pertinent question, because now that you're a mom, you're going to get this a lot, because I still get this even now, which is, well, we call it the mom guilt, which is, okay, now I have to leave the baby at home. I have to go here. So how much mom guilt have you had so far?
I do have it. Anytime I have to be at an event for a film festival, I definitely feel it. And, I have a certain time I know I have to leave. And before I would stay and mix and mingle as long as I could. And now I'm like, I can't wait to get home to the baby. I know he's fine with whoever he's staying with, whether it's my husband or a friend. But I know he needs me, and I know I want as much, FaceTime with him as possible, and to hold him. So, yes, I definitely feel it for sure. I don't know if it ever will go away, but
it never goes away.
Make time for me. I still make time for me. But, yes, I do ache to get home to my baby for sure.
Oh, how sweet is that? Listen to that. That's really cute. And now, when I was looking at him the other day, I'm like, oh, my God, he is – and I'm not just saying that he's cute as a button, because we all say, oh, great, that baby's so cute. But really, first of all, he's everywhere. Like, he's an Instagram star already. So I don't know if he knows this, but he's already a star on Facebook. He's a star on Instagram. And all I was thinking the other day was, he's so going to be in one of her movies, isn't he? I'm already seeing it. I'm like, is she going to put him in one of her movies?
It could happen.
I could totally see that.
I'm not much of a. I don't think I'd be much of a stage mom. I want him to enjoy his life and not force him to do anything he doesn't want to do or make him uncomfortable. But he does love adventures. So if the opportunity ever came up, or I'm sure it would be fun for a while until he told me he didn't want to do it. And whether that's with a cry or his own words, I rather just keep him. Sweet. Just keep him happy at home. Just want him to be happy, enjoying life.
Well, and I have to mention this because I say this every time I come to New York. I'm not a full-time resident yet, but the one thing that I noticed going back and forth, because I'm a Midwesterner and I'm in Wisconsin. So when I go to New York, one thing I've said, and I'm not kidding, if you people ride public transportation, which I do a lot, there are not a lot of children. There are not a lot of kids in New York. I'm convinced that you people hide your children. I'm not kidding.
Where I live in Brooklyn, and there are endless strollers when I go outside. All I see is kids and dogs. So
really?
There are many kids, yes. And I've noticed it's so funny, I've noticed all this time I've lived here, whenever I'm on the subway, I see a person with a stroller, and I always used to think, I'm never going to do that. I was like, I can't. I won't be able to handle that. That's crazy. People bringing their strollers on the subway, and now I've done it, and people help you out. There are lots of kids here. You probably just, I don't know. Once I had a kid, I noticed even more. That's for sure.
That could very well be. It's weird because when I go on the subway, I don't even see them. You rarely see a stroller. You rarely see younger kids, older kids. I'm like, they either eat their kids or they don't ever leave. Or I'm like, I don't know what they're doing with their kids.
No, it might be the time of day or something. I've seen them going to school, doing all the things on the train. They're there. They are.
Okay, gotcha. So we'll have to keep my eyes and ears open. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so the other thing I want to mention before we start talking about professional things, because I like to talk about you as a person, then I, of course, talk about you as a professional. Now, this is so cute because she's only married her husband a year ago. They've been married for a year. And again, another Instagram, Facebook star is her husband, Greg, because I've seen almost as much of him as I've seen of Valerie, which is adorable. And not only that, oh my God, they're like this cute little newlywed couple, and they always look so perfect together. And I'm like, do they ever look bad? Probably not. You always look so cute, Ken and Barbie-ish, and all that good stuff.
You.
So Tell me a bit about Greg and if he's a creative as well, and more importantly, of course, I'm guessing that dad is a transition for him too, meaning that he's got to get used to the dad role and stuff like that. So tell us a bit about him.
Oh, well, he is quite the opposite of me in that he's a certified public accountant and he is an assistant controller. So he's a finance sort of guy. But if you're at home with him and know him as well as I do, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life, and he just entertains me all the time and is extremely creative with his clever, witty things that he says. So in that way, he's very creative. But we also are not perfect. I just want everyone to know that. We are definitely not perfect. Yes, we might look like it on social media, but that's just because I pick and choose pictures to put out there.
I'm sure you do. I think we all do.
But you guys can believe that if you want to.
Oh, my God, listen to you. You're too funny.
So he's very different. He's very different than me. But we need each other, we both bring things that complement each other to the relationship. So, and both things that challenge each other too. And we definitely work well together because we're so different.
Oh. See how sweet this is? See, real love does exist. At least I keep telling myself that when I wake up. I'm like, it's true. It does happen. It does happen. It does happen. And then moreover, it really doesn't hurt the fact that, yes, if you go to her Instagram, and notice I keep mentioning her Instagram so you people start following her.
Yes, please.
Yeah, she's in a bikini. There's no fat. I'm almost 50. I can't even look at me lately. I'm like, what am I going to do to get rid of this tummy from having all these children? She has one, and she doesn't even look like it. It makes me want to cry. But you know what? I'm not a hateful person. I absolutely am jealous in the best possible way because you really are that attractive. And not only that, to look that good after having a baby is really a testament to you because I know that you work out and obviously you take very good care of yourself. But that's a big thing. I mean, I think, let's talk about that a minute because when actors come on, I like to talk about this. Some people are not intimidated or get infuriated by the fact that your industry really kind of demands sometimes that you look a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way, that sort of good stuff. So when you started getting into the whole personal training thing, was it in part because you knew you had to keep yourself looking a certain way or presenting yourself a certain way in terms of trying to get more roles and such? Does that really play a huge factor for you in getting cast?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you. I'm very flattered by your compliments. And
of course.
Yeah, okay. So when I got into training, I was always an actress first and a dancer second. So I was a dancer my whole life. So I never knew anything other than moving my body. And I just kind of fell into training that way, doing personal training. But I did, yes, I did know I wanted to keep my body in a certain shape for the type of roles I'd be playing. Now, there's all sorts of different kinds of people. You can be all shapes and sizes to be an actor. You don't have to be one thing. But I just knew the type of roles I would be playing. Yes, it was going to require me to keep in shape. When I started training, I was about 20 pounds more than I usually am. And I was struggling myself with trying to figure out how to get myself to the spot I wanted to be at. And once I figured that out, which had a lot to do with eating actually, then I really wanted to share that information with other people, and that's kind of how I fell into training. I loved working out, again, because I had always been moving my body since I was a dancer, since I was 3 years old. But I did love working out, but I would always be thinking about food while I was working out. And then I figured out the nutrition part of things, and it's a lot of psychological stuff. And once I figured that out, I really wanted to teach other people because I struggled with it for so long. So that's how that began.
I gotcha.
And it just works out
now, in fact,
for acting.
I was just going to say, and we'll talk about the actual business itself in just a second, but because I have so many creatives that listen to the show, we talk about this a lot, especially those that want to get into acting. When we talk about traits that make you more appealing in terms of casting. Obviously, I would guess the way that you look, how you present yourself. But more importantly, when it comes down to things like you were talking about the dance component, for instance, I don't get a lot of people on my show that have had actual professional dance experience. So I'm going to guess that either you get cast a lot as a ballet dancer or very infrequently, but my question is to our listening audience, to somebody who wants to become an actor, would you say to them, okay, learn this component, meaning be creative from a dance perspective, talk like this, look like this, etc. If they're listening to you right now, what have you found works for you in terms of getting you in front of the right people?
Being yourself. You don't have to do anything, put anything extra on. You don't have to, you just, okay, I found this out. I was a reader for the auditions for Homeland, okay? So I'm reading with the actors that are coming into audition. And when I saw the people coming into audition, they all looked different, but it was the essence of who they really were that gets them cast. You don't have, all you have to do is truly be yourself. That's all you have to do, because everyone is so different. It works out. They will find the person that is the essence of what they need. So you don't have to do, I used to think that too, like, oh, I've got to be this, I've got to be that, I've got to look this way. You know, it's just like being who you really, truly are. That is what they'll see, and that is what they'll cast. And you have no control over it, you know? You have no control. It's just, they'll find the person that matches the essence of what they're looking for. So many people. So that's it.
It's just
I would suggest just being yourself.
And that's an interesting perspective, you know, because I've had some actors that come on and they're like, oh, yeah, I totally, like, I know an actor right now that's trying to drop some weight. I know another one that actually changed facially how they were looking. And obviously you adapt yourself to certain roles if you know that they're coming. But I'm like, I would totally see where somebody would have you lined up as a ballet dancer left, right, and sideways, because I imagine that's probably a very intricate skill set to have. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not graceful at all. I don't even know how you do that. Do you even get to dance like in that form or technique anymore, or would you want to?
Oh no, I stopped dancing a long time ago. So I was a dancer a long time ago, and I realized I had been trying to do way too many things because I wanted to act, I wanted to dance, I was unfocused of what I wanted to do everything, and then finally I realized, no, I love acting the most. Eventually I'm not going to be able to dance. You know, your body can't take it for so long, you know. Your career is pretty short as a dancer. So yeah, I haven't danced in a long time, and I don't get cast as a dancer. However, the dance background has really helped me in creating characters and knowing my body really well, moving my body in certain ways. That really helps a lot. I'm being very body aware, but no ballerina roles for me at this point.
Okay, but if someone's listening and you're doing a film and it involves a ballerina, you know I'm talking to right here, because she's done ballet, she's done jazz as well. Just keep that in mind, you casting directors that are listening. Now, since she's brought it up, of course, she, of course, has what we call, and of course, the VLO training, actually, and of course we'll go through that website later and I'll mention that as well, but we want to talk about you as far as the trainer side of things. First of all, I have a couple questions, because I'm trainer stupid. If you people listen to me long enough, and I know you do, the first thing that you would tell Valerie is, which is this: I had to go to the gym. I had a partial stroke and I started going to the gym, and to this day I still say it, I hate the gym. I get these people that come on my show and they're like, I love to work out, and I'm like, shut up. I'm like, first of all, I don't know why anyone would want to go to a gym and look at skinny people, because the whole reason I'm there is because I'm not skinny. So now I have to look at everything I'm not after you're reminded of everything that I'm not, which is like, oh my God, okay. And second of all, you guys talk in like weird terms. Like, for instance, I'm going to throw this out here. So Valerie's got this lovely website, right? And she goes on, I'm on here and I'm creeping on her, so I'm prepared for this today. And I'm like, okay, she's talking about things like weight loss, totally relate to that. But then I'm like, plyometrics, myofascial release, Alan Wayne movement, what the I can't say it. But I'm like, okay, so let's talk about some of this stuff. Let's talk about,
Sure.
I know that you're versed in two things, the Ellen Wayne movement and the Alexander technique. So tell us what that's all about. And then more importantly, tell us about some of the things that you specialize in that kind of set you apart from the average trainer.
Okay, so plyometrics is very, as soon as you train with me, I would just say that just means jumping. So let's jump, squat, jumping lunges. Myofascial release is rolling out your muscles on a foam roller so that you break up the muscle tissue. Super simple.
Okay.
And that's just what it's called. And okay, so as for Alexander technique, I went to grad school for acting in New York City at the New School for Drama, and one of the things that we study is Alexander technique, which really helped me a lot with my clients. And it's basically using your body in the most efficient way possible in every single thing you do. So we would do the most simple activities like brushing your teeth, writing a letter, not that people write letters anymore, but you know what I mean, like writing on a piece of paper with a pen.
Oh, right.
Walking,
Sure.
standing up, use it and learning to use your body in alignment in everything you do and with relaxation, because in acting, one of the key components is to stay relaxed or use as much tension as you need, but no more than what you need. So staying relaxed is super important, and that's what Alexander technique teaches you, so that you're not holding tension in places that you don't need to be. And when you're training, same thing. Like, for example, let's say you're doing a bicep curl, and you're tensing up your shoulders, and you're scrunching up your face, and you don't need all that tension in your face. You don't need all the tension in your shoulder. All you have to do is lift your forearm and squeeze your bicep. So it's using your body in the most efficient way possible, so you're not creating all this extra tension, because, boy, does that add up over time and causes all sorts of ailments. So, so that's what Alexander technique is about. Now, Ellen Wayne movement was also something I studied in grad school, and it's a fusion of ballet, yoga, and emotional work. It's not the easiest thing to explain. It's better to do. Now, I don't teach people Ellen Wayne, but it's informed a lot of my own training. So I just incorporate yoga movements. I speak a lot to you about your lifestyle to see where certain things come from in your life that show up in how your body moves, actually. So,
interesting. Because this stuff sounded really intriguing to me. And moreover, when you go onto her website, you will notice that she just recently had said that she is willing to work with individuals with long-distance plans, meaning that you're able to tell me how it is possible, like somebody like me in Wisconsin or Chicago or whatever, and you're in New York City. How specifically does that work? How do they get lined up with you to be able to do this? How often? What do you offer? That sort of thing?
Yeah, no problem. So you can go to my website. It's velotraining.com. So Velo is like J-Lo, Valerie Lonigro, at the beginning of my first, you get it? Velo training.
I get it.
Valerie Lonigro. Get it? Okay. So Velo training, so VLO training. And there's a contact page there. And what I'm offering, I did this with actually one of my friends wanted to do it with her husband, and they live in Florida. And I've been doing it with them over the past 2 months. And I thought, well, this works out. I've been doing it. I know how to do it now. So I would love to offer it to other people, because I've had so many people over the years, so many friends or acquaintances that want to train, but they don't live in New York City. So what I've been doing is I'd have to see what the person's specific goals are, but writing 3 workouts a week for them, and then I create a small video, not to show the entire workout, but to explain the form of every exercise. So it's a short video, about 5 minutes long, depends on how long the workout is, but a short video to explain the form, because form is, I'm very specific on form when I'm training people, so that way they get the workouts 3 times a week, and they get the little video on form, and then one check-in phone call a week to hold them accountable, to keep them motivated, and to see how they're doing with the workout, talk about their nutrition, and make sure they're on track with their goal, whatever their goal may be. Sometimes it's just to, for health reasons. Sometimes it's to lose weight. Sometimes they have some sort of sickness and they want to be as healthy as possible. So whatever that is. So that's what I offer now for people out of town.
How cool is that? That's very cool. Okay, so now this is the part where you're going to say to me, because I'm 49 and fat, I know that you're going to give me the answer to, well, gee, Cindy, if you just do this for 2 weeks, you're going to be really thin because I have to be in my own film soon, and I'm petrified. Literally petrified. Like, oh, my God.
2 weeks is pushing it, but, it comes down to eating the healthiest you possibly can, whole foods from the earth, less processed foods, and exercising. So doing some sort of cardio 3 times a week, some heart-raising exercise, whatever that is you like to do, whether it's playing tennis with your son, or it's taking a walk outside, or getting on the elliptical machine, or it could be endless things, and then weight training 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I am going to be honest with you, two weeks is a very short amount of time. So you can lose up to, if your weight loss is your goal, you can lose up to 2 pounds a week. That's the most. So you can lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a week. So you could lose up to 4 pounds if that's your goal, if that's what you want, by the time you have to shoot in 2 weeks.
Well, I could push it because I'm like, I have to be in New York to film them, and my guess is we probably won't start till the end of November, so I could probably buy myself a good month. And so I've been trying to just I think it's just intimidation. I have to work with, you met the actor that I'm doing my scenes with, and he's, he is also an award winner, and he knows his stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going to be fat, and I don't know how to act, and I have to stand here and pretend all this. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like an epic fail already. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, buy pretty clothes, because everybody will focus on the clothes.
That's not the truth, Cindy. You're not fat. You're not a bad actress. You're a great actress.
Oh my.
And you look beautiful. Yes.
Listen to her. I need you as PR. Can you start immediately? Because just walk around with me all day and just keep saying, just so you know, Cindy, blah, blah, blah. No, but folks, it really is intimidating. I know that she makes this sound so simplistic, but I do think that there's, it's tough when you are, and as a founder, I found out I'm in a room with you guys all the time, filmmakers and actors, and you guys make it all look so easy. And I'm here to tell you, it's not easy. What they do takes some real skill, and it does take passion, and it takes some dedication, and it takes patience and a lot of things. And I have no patience. I have passion, all that other stuff, so I'm like, okay, so this will be a great new learning experience for me, I think, definitely. But I'm like, I get it, the whole exercise and eating right and doing all that good stuff. Just out of curiosity, before we move off the training thing, are you currently accepting clients because you've got a child and you are acting and doing all this? So is there a lag time? Are you willing to take people on right now, just so we have some idea?
Absolutely. I'm willing to take people on. Yes, it's a little tricky, but usually I talk to them and somehow I figure out a way to do it, whether that's the kind of virtual training that we were just talking about, or if they live in New York City, I can make it work. Right now, early mornings work. So if usually, they're more of a 9 to 5 person, and they have to work out before work, that's working right now. And the weekends, I have some time on the weekends as well, which I used to not do. But now I do, the weekend.
Wonderful. Okay, good. So you guys can get hooked up as far as that goes. Now, I did make an observation when I was researching you that I see that obviously you have been practicing meditation for a while. So then it led me to ask the question, do you combine using meditation along with your training practices, meaning when you're teaching people through your training business? Is that part of it? Is meditation something that's important when it comes to physically training your body?
I don't do it during the session, but it's something that helps me so much in life when I do it. And so, I'm with people for an hour 2 to 3 times a week for years. So at some point, usually it comes up that they're having trouble with this or that, and I do suggest meditation. Not that I'm an expert or anything like that. I also struggle with fitting meditation into my day, but I definitely suggest it and talk about it because I see how much it helps me when I do it. It's really when I'm not doing it that I notice most. When I'm not doing it, I really notice how I'm feeling.
Oh, okay. That makes. I think I follow what you're saying.
You know what I mean? But when
I totally get it.
I feel much better. So taking that time to just be still and quiet, and letting thoughts come in, but letting them also go, and noticing that those are just thoughts; they are not the truth. It helps a lot. So yeah, I highly recommend it for overall health.
Yeah, I've been told that recommendation, and people tell me that all the time. In fact, constantly they're like, you need to either do yoga or meditation. And I'm like, the issue with this is pretty obvious for me that, my brain goes at about 8,000 miles a minute. So I'm just trying to picture myself. Oh my God. I'm like the
I can see.
Oh my God. I'm bound tighter than a drum, like literally.
But you would benefit from it so much because I can see your brain is constantly going. You can talk.
Yeah.
No, really, you can talk.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes, I do. I literally could actually. To tell you the truth, this show could never end. Like literally, we could just keep talking, and I know it does end eventually. But no, in all seriousness, I have been told that really there are some therapeutic benefits to both media, meditation, and yoga, and I will likely probably end up going to one or the other just because I think it might be easier for me than working out. I won't lie to you. I'm too busy, and of course I'm not committed. I have no discipline. Like if you told me I had to be at the gym 3 times a week, I'd be like, yeah, that wine bottle showed up, and I just couldn't get to the gym tonight. I mean, I was lifting wine glass. I think that counts, right? Technically?
Well, that's
wine glass.
Sure. Well, that's the trick with having a trainer is that you have an appointment and you're paying them, and if you cancel the appointment, you're still going to get charged.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why people have them, so it holds them accountable and makes them show up. Yep.
Absolutely. I totally get it. Okay. Understood completely. So now she's got me. Now I have to change my diet. I seriously have to pay attention to getting more exercise. Now she's trying to tell me that I have to do yoga or meditation. Yay. Valerie's just added 7 more things to my list of 800 things I have to do. Great. On to the next thing. So, get this. I heard word on the street is that Valerie, at one time in her life, was actually on the Wendy Williams show, and I saw her face on it. She was right there. I was like, we have to talk about that. I'm like, that's a cool bragging point. Because I was in the
audience.
Why didn't you go with me there? So we almost had him. Like, I was like, oh, bam, they're going to be all excited she's on Wendy Williams, and then Valerie had to tell the truth. But I get it. I was at the Harry Connick show, and I was in the audience, too. But it's exciting, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, I think that's totally cool. And all of a sudden, they're like, Cam is on you. And you're like, yes, that's awesome.
I love Wendy Williams. I think she is hilarious. I get the biggest kick out of watching her. She makes me happy.
Me
It's my little indulgence every day. I just love it. I don't care if you don't like it. I love it. I don't mean you. I mean anyone else. But I just love how opinionated she is. I wish I could be like that.
Oh, yeah.
How she just speaks her mind. I love her. So, yes, my girlfriend gave me that as a gift. And actually one of my dreams is to be interviewed by Wendy Williams on her show as an actress. And so I said, yes, I'll go to the audience this time, but next time I come here, I want to be on the couch.
Oh, my God. Listen to this.
Yes,
so basically, she's on my show talking about how she wants to be interviewed by someone that's not me. That's nice. Just kidding.
Well, today I'm being interviewed by you, so that dream's accomplished.
Oh, my gosh, listen to this. We're going to find this exciting because this coming week, I'm actually going to be right in front of Wendy Williams. She's at the NAB convention this week, her and Robert De Niro.
Ooh,
oh, yeah. So
fun.
Buy yourself a ticket, Missy, and go line up and listen to her guest speak, and then you can walk right up to her and say, hey, girl, can you interview me? And hand her your card. It's that simple. See, we just accomplished Valerie's dream today. Yay.
good.
Yay!
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Right. I'm afraid to walk up to her. I won't lie to you. Well, actually, Wendy Williams I'll walk up to. Robert De Niro, he's the keynote speaker the first day. I'm petrified.
Yes,
I'm like, oh,
I've
my
heard
God,
that.
that's a big deal. Yes,
That's
so
a
I'm
really
very
big deal.
excited about this, and I have nothing to wear. And, like, it matters. Like, he's even going to notice me. Because in my head, I'm like, what do you wear in front of Robert De Niro, who's totally never going to even know you're in an audience? So I'm, like, already setting it up, like, okay, I need a break or something like that. Okay,
sure
on to the next source. Yes, I do. I'll find something. So there's a few things that, on the personal side of things, that I've noticed outside of the many things that I could tell you about her. The ones that I think that are most fun to point out about her on a personal note is, first of all, I noticed you like to eat what you call artisanal food.
Oh,
Did I say that right?
Artisanal.
What the hell is artisanal food?
It's basically everything that they have in New York City. It's like what foodies would eat.
Oh, okay. I get it now because I'm like, what does that mean? Okay.
It's like they have the best food in the world in New York City and Brooklyn, where I live, and I like to eat it a lot.
Oh, my God.
That's why I have to work out, too. No, so I eat I eat very healthy, but I also allow myself my treats because they have the most fantastic food here, as I've said a few times now.
Of course.
So, yeah, I'm really into food. I love food. I will literally eat anything for my treat. Other than that, I eat a healthy plant-based diet.
She just had to put that plug in. Just so you all know, I eat almost anything, but here we go.
No, it's true. That's like part of what I try to teach people too. Is like, you're not going to be perfect all the time. You know, I want you to enjoy your life, like as I do. Like, I love a glass of wine.
Of course.
I love a meal out. That's, you know, eating whatever I want that day. You know, and enjoying it. Like, I'm not into, like, the cheat meal. It's not a cheat. It's, like, enjoying my life.
Oh, my gosh. She puts that so adequately. She's so perfect at mentioning that. It's like it perfectly makes sense to me, and I totally get what you're talking about. But I was curious about that because I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody use that expression. So I'm like, I definitely have to ask her about that. I see that you have stated that you can actually physically do the splits. So now that you've had a child, I'm just wondering, can Valerie still do the splits?
Okay, that's so funny you ask because I would still work on them. Now, because I could not, near the end, so I was doing them while I was pregnant as far along as I could, but there came a certain point where it was not easy to get in the position anymore. So I did lose a tiny bit of flexibility, but I will get it back, and I will be, I mean, I can go down all the way down on one side, because it's like the left and right splits. You know, I'll go all the way down on one side, but I'm working on the other side. Because I lost it a little bit. Because when you're pregnant, there's a hormone release. I believe it's called relaxin, and it loosens all your ligaments. And I actually was stretching how I've been stretching for my entire life, and I pulled a muscle when I was stretching on my left leg, and that's what's kind of keeping me from getting down all the way on the left. So it needs to heal more, but I'll get there, Cindy.
Okay. Oh, my God. How impressive is this? I can't even do a half a split, for God's sake, and here she's talking about this. I'm like, oh, my God. So there's that. Third of all, I understand that you are a Netflix binger as well, and I was like, I wonder when the last time it was she had time to even binge Netflix. Wait, let me guess. After you had your baby, I'm guessing. I could totally picture that. Does it even work anymore? Because he's probably up, every 2 hours, 3 hours, or no?
No, I was trying to binge Marvelous Mrs. Maisel after it won all the Emmys, and I have a lot of friends on it, too. I have tons of friends on it. I swear, every episode I see somebody I know. So, and actually my friend just came over yesterday, and he's like, oh, I'm in season 2. I'm like, I can't wait to see you on it. So, I have tried, but yes, I don't have much time. The baby needs me, so I've got to tend to him. And I recently noticed that he starts looking at the TV screen. So he's seeing the moving pictures and like mesmerized by it. So now my husband and I are like, we have to turn off the TV sometimes because he will just be staring at it. He's 3 months old. He's not ready for TV yet. He's not ready to watch TV.
So you mean he's not going to get the whole SpongeBob thing? Because I'm like, my kids are like hooked on SpongeBob, and I'm like, I could just set the thing.
Maybe later when it's like a show he's supposed to be watching. But I mean, he's 3 months old.
Oh,
3 month old baby. I mean, he's like staring at the TV screen. I'm like, it's probably not healthy for him right now. So
okay then. So we're like, okay.
Unfortunately.
I kind of figured as much, but I was like, well, I'll throw it out there. Because sometimes when you do have newborns, they do sleep a lot in the beginning. So it's kind of like, well, if you're home and you're like recuperating anyways, I thought, okay, I could totally see this as far as that goes. I also found out that not only are you a Lady Gaga fan, but you're also a Real Housewives fan, which I found interesting because I interviewed them. I've interviewed a number of them for the franchise.
Fan?
So Real Housewives. You had that on Real Housewives? Do you still watch the Real Housewives? Those are my pals. I'm a journalist, Valerie. I just decided to invite you on the show and know nothing. Like, I was just going to sit here and not know anything. That's what I do.
Like, when did I broadcast that?
You didn't, but I creeped on you because it's my job.
Wow.
But, okay, so I have to ask, because these gals come on my show and I hang with them, and one of them's in my film, actually, or the film I'm going to do. So I'm curious, which franchise do you like the most? Or have you not watched them in a while?
Oh no, I watch some. Sometimes, yes, I watch sometimes when I can. I love Atlanta. I love New York.
Okay.
Those are my two favorites, Atlanta and New York. Okay. But I do also watch Orange County. I can't believe I'm telling everyone to say that. I'm embarrassed. I'm just kidding. And do I watch any other ones? I think that's it. Yeah.
So you've never watched
Those are
Dallas?
The three I like.
It's Dallas.
No,
Dallas.
I don't know why.
Now.
Never watched Dallas.
Or Washington. They were on, like Potomac was on or whatever have you. They've been on
too. I might have saw one of those, but no, I haven't gotten deep into that. But the other ones, yes, I have gotten deep into them.
All right. So this will excite you because I caved in. And I'm always looking for new Real Housewives to interview. So before I ask you which one you want me to interview, I can tell you that I've been in contact with. So they're trying to hook me up with Bethany Frankel. So she's a New York housewife.
My favorite.
I've approached.
Sorry, but she is.
Is she your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at that.
One of my favorites for sure.
I've approached Luann Phillips-Taps for
like
publicist.
Luann too.
I've approached her. Oh, you do? I love Luann. She's like my favorite.
Yes. Yeah. Good choice.
And I know I have spoken to Vicki Gunvalson, but she hasn't been on my show. I've talked to Tamara Barney. She hasn't been on my show. Whatchamacallit. You know who I do know is the Jersey Girls. So the girl that's going to be in my film is Margaret Josephs, who's the newbie on Real Housewives of New Jersey. She's a doll.
Oh,
absolute doll.
Very cool.
Oh, and they're lovely, lovely people. So I guess I don't have to ask you then if there was a number one housewife you'd want me to interview, who would it be?
Yeah, Bethany or Nene Leakes. Those are my two ultimate favorites.
Okay, so then if I get Bethany on the show, so you're going to call in and then you're going to help question her, right? So you can like conduct part of the interview and do the research and all that because you know so much about her.
If you really need me to.
She's like, it's such a chore and I really don't want to.
Much better job than I would.
Oh, cut it out. Actually, then you get to creep on people. See, I always tell people that. I'm like, I get to spy on people and it's legal. It's like so cool.
Wow.
Journalists are like the
really
best
fun.
in the whole wide world. Well, until you find out things you don't want to know. Like seriously, sometimes you find out stuff you don't want to know. Oh, and the other thing I want to bring up before we talk about your real job. And by the way, before I forget, don't forget to tell your husband he rocks a Christmas hat. You guys have to go to her Instagram, look at her husband. He's got that big old Christmas hat, and it's like 8 feet long. I'm like, literally, that thing is huge, and he just looks so comfortable. And it's adorable, absolutely adorable. Now, we want to bring this up because I have a lot of mad love for a lot of the people. You and I both are part of this Actors Green Room. It's actually a lounge that's on Facebook, social media. And I always like to give a great shout out to the people. There are a lot of folks, especially if you're listening and you're an upcoming actor, somebody that hasn't gotten out there completely, and are looking to collaborate with, talk to, meet up with, etc. This Green Lounge, I'll tell you, the Actors Green Lounge is a huge thing. And obviously I think that's how Valerie and I met, or you found out about my festival. A lot of super great people there. And I don't want to forget to mention this. You and I both know Natalie Roy, and she's got her own podcast, which I didn't know. I just found out about this Let's Play the Create podcast. So let's show a little love for Natalie. Do you know anything about the show? Or in general, should we talk about anybody from the lounge? Because there's so many there. I mean, we could talk all day about those folks. We should give some love to somebody.
Natalie Roy and Kristen Hange. I have taken their Create classes at the Actors Green Room many times, and I've listened to every single one of their podcasts. I absolutely adore them. They are some of the wisest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh.
And really, I mean, they have completely changed my life. The way I think about the business. They're great. Cindy, I have to tell you something. My baby is crying in the other room.
Oh, no! Do you want to put the phone down and go grab him? Oh, my God, you poor thing. Well, don't let him keep crying. Well, can you go get him?
Okay.
Do you want to go get him and soothe him?
I'm going to have to. This is interesting. This has probably never happened to you before.
No, actually, trust me, it never has. I can certainly
him
hold and keep talking because you know I can talk.
I mean, I've got my hands free on, and he seems to be okay that I'm here now, so I'm going to figure this out.
Okay.
But, yes, Natalie Roy.
We'll keep trying.
He's okay.
Okay,
He's
yes,
okay.
Natalie Roy.
He's
okay.
good.
Okay.
Natalie Roy is an amazing, amazing woman. Hi, baby.
Oh, I imagine. Hi, baby. Hi, Malachi.
Yes,
Hi. We're waving all the way from Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's doing great. I got my headphones in, so he can't hear us. But
oh, good. Okay. So we're good so far. So you've taken the and I wanted to bring up Natalie just because of that, and just so you folks know, we've got some greats in there. Rob Figueroa, which obviously you've worked with before, Pete Dorton, Jimmy Prevasilis, bunch of the actors that have won this year. Jared Prudett-Smith, he was obviously Prudett-Smith is from the Green Lounge as well. So there's such a benefit to being part of that. And do you know Jen Rudolph, the person that runs it? I've never met her.
Oh yeah. I've known her for a long time. She's wonderful. She's created such an amazing community of supportive actors. I love the Green Lounge. I love the Actors Green Room. And that's how I got to this point, by going to casting director workshops, the Create classes. The people there inspired me and suggested to me that I do a film challenge, which scared me at first. And I thought, well, I should do that. They were all loving it. And as soon as I did that, I started making more films. And I mean, I just never imagined that I would be producing films all the time. And it all came from the Actors Green Room. So it's a great place to go if you're in New York City, and if you're not, you should join the Facebook page for sure. And
definitely, because you can connect with people from everywhere.
Yeah, and everyone helps everyone out. If you have a question, just post it on there.
Yes,
it's great. Instead of meeting up with your bitter actor friends and complaining about how hard the business is, it has completely changed everything for me, because it's just a supportive group of people that want you to succeed, and that's really important, to surround yourself with those kinds of people. It helps so much.
I agree. 150%, and they really are lovely, and I really have had the blessing and benefit of meeting so many absolutely amazing people from there. So yes, kudos to all you folks that get up day in and day out, support each other, work with each other, care about each other. It's an amazing place, folks. You have to definitely check it out, as well as, of course, the podcast. Play the Create podcast. Let's play the Create podcast is what it's called, or if you Google Natalie Roy, you'll be able to find her as well. And now she talks about, meaning Valerie is talking about acting here. Now, she herself is an educated individual, meaning that she went to the new school, and, of course, she has an MFA as far as for acting. I want to ask this question because I always ask actors this question, because your take might be a bit different because you are educated, and, of course, you've gone to school for all this good stuff. Now, I come across actors constantly who have taken one class, or who literally, in essence, sometimes have had really no formal training. So coming from a background where you have gotten some experience and education as well, if somebody's listening and they're either first starting out, or even if they've been acting for a while, would you still say to them, yes, get out there, take a class every week, every month, etc.? Do they really need that fundamental foundation of education to make them a better actor? Because sometimes people say just acting is the gig. That's the thing.
Oh, I think you need training. I think it's very important to take class, to keep working your actor muscle, because if you really want to go far, you are going to be in scenes with A-list actors, and you got to be on your A game. And if you want to get to that point, You've got to feel
Right.
comfortable being in a scene with Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to
Oh, my
know
God.
what you're doing. So yes,
Right.
if you want to get to that point, you have to train and know what you're doing. And like I said before, in my training, we learn to relax, and that's super important because when you get to set and it is the real deal, I mean, you'll be having a panic attack if you don't know how to relax because it is that exciting and that nerve-wracking because
Wow.
you got to be on your game. I mean, you got to be on your game.
Sure.
So yeah, you've got to train for sure. I think it's super important to take class, to do scene work in class. Yeah, so that when you show up to set or even auditioning, I mean, auditioning is a whole different ball game where you got to be on point all the time. So yeah, it's just like working that acting muscle. You got to do it.
Sure. And, of course, I know that when I was researching you, you had spent 6 years of time studying with David Gideon, of course. So I'm going to guess that, we've talked about Meisner method on this show before. Obviously, you've talked about method acting before. Some people have talked about creating their own version and or vignette of sorts that includes an accompaniment of different styles of acting. So walking away with David in terms of having 6 years of experience, what one thing did you learn from him that you're still implementing to this day when it comes to your acting?
I would say the relaxation. We would take, I would say about it was a 4-hour class that I would take every week, and we would spend the first 45 minutes to an hour learning how to relax. That is the most important thing that I've learned. And then you take your relaxation into your scene work. And then, because if you're tense, you are not in control of yourself. Things will happen that you're just out of control of your own instrument. But when you're relaxed, you're in control of what you're doing, and real emotions can come up. And when it's real for you, then it's real for the audience. It's not about faking it or putting anything on. It's about bringing truth to what you're doing. And you really can't do it without being completely relaxed. So, that's one of the main things I learned there.
You betcha. Now, I'm curious about this because you were one of a couple different actors that have come to my show that are versed in particular dialects. And so I was curious about this one because I'm like, okay, so she can do Swedish. She could do Cockney, no clue what that is, and amongst other things, British as well. So I'm like, okay, we're totally making her do an accent right now. So let's give us a line, give us something in your best accent.
Really? Okay, well, I could do British RP, which is a very proper accent, if you want me to. Right now, I've got my baby in my hands. I'm trying to think of things to say.
That he will hopefully like in that dialect, I would have to say. When you're learning to talk in a different dialect, obviously, and when you have to sound differently, of course, how much time, I mean, because you've been doing it a while, can you just show up and kick right to dialect, or do you still have to practice that? Do you find yourself sitting at home prepping pre-game, so to speak?
Oh, I would definitely have to prep, but since it's another thing that I learned in grad school, we took a year of dialects, and what we learned is that International Phonetic Alphabet, which is they call it IPA. That's the abbreviation, IPA. Okay. And there are all these symbols for the different sounds you make. So you just change, what we learned is how to change the sounds, using these symbols, and it works perfecally. So, yes, I do have to, remind myself. It was a while ago, so I have to remind myself. But I know how to do that. So, yeah, I can really learn any dialect if I needed to. And then, I would just quickly brush up. Like if I had to do, French for an audition, I would probably write it out with the phonetic alphabet and practice it that way, rehearse it that way. And then I'd be able to do it. Yeah, no problem.
Very, very cool. And I want to flip over and talk about this. This is cool. I love it when actors that come on that have done film have also done extensive work, like with plays, for instance, because I know that you've been in the theater.
Yeah.
First of all, I see that you, Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth, and, of course, obviously Cat on a Hot Tin Roof are the three that stood out to me. First of all, what I don't understand, people do Shakespeare a lot, and maybe it's just me, but do you get it? I keep asking my guests, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid. I totally don't get Shakespeare. I think it's way over my head. It's so tough. And I'm like, oh, my God. Can you imagine? It's one thing to be in a movie where you're actually in a Shakespeare thing, doing a movie sort of thing. But in this particular case, you're obviously in the theater. And you appear to be extremely comfortable in the realm of a theater playhouse. And I've noticed that for a lot of actors, they do the flip-flop, but you become either pro-theater, and I love the theater, and I keep going back to it, or you're all about, I want to be on the silver screen, and on rare occasion I'll go to the theater. So have you figured out your niche yet, meaning that do you want to keep flipping back and forth, or are you finding you're more comfortable in one?
What I would love to do is be a series regular on TV and do film and plays on my hiatus, because I love all the mediums, but TV and film is my main focus right now. But I started in theater, and I love theater, and I love seeing plays, and I collect plays. I think they're a brilliant art form, and I love theater. So.
Well, I imagine,
and
the other, I want to know, because I'm in New York often enough, and so those of you that don't get a chance to get to New York and LA, obviously these are very rich in arts and culture, et cetera. So when you come to New York City, you've got Broadway, you've got off-Broadway, et cetera. I want to know, for somebody like myself, I've written 3 plays, and I've thought, okay, maybe I should go to New York and put a play on there, and I can't even imagine how hard that must be, because there's a lot of competition. You've got your big Broadway stuff, et cetera. So talk a bit about, I know that you have performed, now were the plays all in New York City? Or because there was a point in time where you came from Michigan, and so you've only lived in New York. How long have you been in New York?
Oh, a long time. I'm not going to say how many years, but a long time.
Because she's like 30, just so you know. She's like 30.
Right.
Okay, she looks like she's about 25. I'm not lying. But she's really only 30.
Thank
That's
you.
all we're giving up right now. I'm just saying.
I'll take
but
that.
No, I knew that I knew you originally stemmed from Michigan, of course, and eventually you found your way to New York. And obviously, I'm going to imagine community theater, like here in Wisconsin, people embrace it because they don't get it all that often. Whereas with New York, I'm just trying to figure out, how does that work in terms of, that's a small fish in a big pond kind of, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, usually you start with the off Broadway plays, that's what I did for a long time. So that's just the number of seats, really. That's all that is. Like 100 seats is off Broadway. But anyway, you start off small, and that's how you learn. That's how you build your community. This poor baby.
Oh no, is he okay?
Oh yeah, we're just burping him. There he goes.
Okay, I was just going to say, life with a baby, I know how that is. We go up, we go down. It's been a while though, so I know. I don't want to forget to mention this. Your name's been published in 3 play scripts, and I thought that was wickedly cool. That is awesome.
You.
Please talk about that. That is so awesome. How did that happen?
So I've been. Sorry, Cindy.
That's okay.
Hold on. I lost my.
That's all right. Do what you got to do. It's okay. We'll wait.
So I originated roles in 3 different plays. So, for example, St. Francis, I got the roles in that. It was in the Fringe Festival in New York City, which is actually going on right now, the Fringe Festival.
Is it?
And
okay.
Yeah, and then later it was published, and that's happened to me 3 times, where I've originated roles in plays, and then they're published in different. One play, The Tutor, was also in the Fringe Festival, where I originated the role of Sandra Jameson, and later it was published, so you can pick up copies of it in drama books in New York City, and my name is right there in the front as, the person that originated the role, which is really cool.
That is very, very cool, as a matter of fact. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
especially after you've been shopping at drama books for years and years, and and then you go in and your name's in one of them. That's pretty cool. It's very exciting.
Oh, I imagine. Without a doubt. I mean, I always still get excited anytime I put my name on something. I'm like, published by so-and-so, and I'm like, it is kind of exciting, even though, you've been doing it for a long time. It's just nice. It's a beautiful accolade, a little pat on the back. It's like, that's so awesome. Which brings us, of course, to her acting career. Wait for the jaw drop, because she's done some seriously cool things. So just for the record, so Valerie, because you may not know this, I tell people this all the time. So I tried to act once. I showed up on a set with my cast. They thought it would be funny to replace the alcohol with real tequila. Yeah, you can imagine what happened. I got drunk. It wasn't pretty. I couldn't remember my lines, and I really did look like a street hooker. It was not good. I mean, I'm like, ever since then, I'm like, I'm never going to act. And then what do? I write my own movie. I put myself in it, and next to like one of the best actors that intimidates me to no end. Doesn't it sound like fun? Welcome to acting. Said no one. Oh, my God. I'm so dreading this. Okay, so we have to talk about this. First of all, I did not know this until I started to research her, but you were on not one, but 2 soap operas. So she did The One Life to Live, which I never watched, but you did All My Children, which I totally watched. OMG. Yeah. So I want to know when you're going to make a nighttime soap opera. I want me some nighttime soap operas. Where did the soap operas go, Valerie? Where are they?
Well, they used to be so huge. I mean, New York City has changed so much. When I first got here, I think there was just 4 soap operas and Law and Order and maybe like one other TV show, and that was it. It was all, it was all theater mostly. And so the big thing to try to get into were soap operas. So that's where I started, and then they all left. With All My Children, I shot that, and then I feel like a few weeks later they moved it to LA, and then I think after that it went online. And same thing with One Life to Live. I was on that, and then that was over with a few weeks later. So operas are not here anymore. They're in LA. So can't do anything about that. They're just not here.
Well, because I'm one of those chicks that remembers Knots Landing in Dallas, and I watched them, and then I watched the reboot, and I'm like, I'm totally into that, and I loved All My Children. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm just going to ask you this: when it came to the soap operas, was that like one of the earlier gigs? Because you're like, I knew I could get cast. It was a role, or were you actually like a soapy fan that was like, oh my God, now I get to live out something like this?
I think my sister is 10 years older than I am, and she used to watch General Hospital. So I was into General Hospital because she was, I saw it so many times because she would be watching it. But no, it was when I got here, that's what people suggested I do first is try to get into soaps. And so once I was on All My Children, or I wanted to be on it, I would watch it all the time, so I knew who the characters were and what was going on, and kind of what they were style they were doing on there. Yeah, so I definitely used to watch All My Children all the time.
That's cool. Very, very cool. Mm-hmm. I must ask you this question because when I was looking at your resume, and again, actors always have a different take on this. So clearly, when you go to Valerie's website and you take a look at her bio, the first thing you're going to see is that apparently she has become Hollywood because she's got like an agent, and she's got this guy, and she's got this guy, and this guy. And there's, I don't want to call it a point of contention, but when I talk to different actors, they always have a different take on when you want to get, meaning talk a bit about the reasons why you solidify having an agent versus some people out there that are kind of doing, the typical actor thing, which is I'm representing myself, I'm getting my own headshots, I'm this and that. So talk a bit about the advantages to having an agent, and more so, are there any downsides to that? I just want people to have a full introspect of what they're walking into.
Oh, I don't think there's any downside to having an agent. I mean, you need one. If you want to be on a TV show, you cannot get submitted. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can try to meet casting directors at workshops.
Sure.
And then be called in by them that way, but that's pretty, it happens, but it's not the easiest route. If you want to be submitted, only the agents and managers get the breakdowns, and they're the only people that can submit you. So if you want to be on a TV show or in big films, you got to have an agent or a manager submitting you for sure. So I just freelance with those people right now. So we're not married or anything, but I do freelance.
We're not. I gotcha, totally. And of course, this is what it's got her. I mean, as you had mentioned, you gravitated into the TV thing. Obviously, she's done Maths Warriors, which was a TV series, along with Deception, which is actually Deception ABC, which is what you were talking about. You just got on the ABC network. Now, that has got to be hugely exciting. And I'm not going to lie, isn't it intimidating? Because doing TV and doing film, like you're an independent film, obviously, so there are some liberties and freedoms that you get. But when it comes down to being on a major network, I would imagine that that's a little more structured, a little more stabilized in certain ways, and techniques are very different, how you do things. And I'm picturing a whole lot of standing around, right? Because shooting a TV series versus shooting something like an independent film is way different, isn't it?
It's not that different. You're definitely waiting around because the set needs to be changed. The cameras need to be turned around. Right. The lighting needs to be changed. I mean, that's the same thing on a film. But on a big TV set on ABC or any of the networks, they definitely treat you very nice. So you have your own trailer to sit in, and they treat you like a queen. Cool. They really do. I mean, they treat you, so it's in that way. They really take care of you. Wow. It's like the greatest thing. And I mean, if you've been longing to be there for a long time, I was in just the state of gratitude the whole time, so excited about the whole process. I was not scared or anything. I was very excited about the whole thing. I imagine. Fun. My gosh. Yeah, it was fun. And, of course, I want to talk about what brought us together, which is obvious. Of course, she submitted this film to me, or you or Rob had submitted it to me, called The Falls, which was done in 2017. Now, this is a short film that we played at the festival, and luckily for her, she won out and literally got my Best Female Actor Award for Artist Live Film Festival this year, which is very exciting because she beat out some great competition. I won't lie to you. The ladies in your category are all very, very versed and extremely good at what they do, very engaging, very entertaining. I didn't get to pick you, unfortunately. I leave that up to the bosses because when I know these people, I can't judge them, at least in my opinion. So what I can tell you of Sarah's character before I have her speak about Sarah is, she was quite a surprise. I mean, when I first looked at her, I was like, I'm totally buying into you, girlfriend, and I was kind of liking her for a while. I kind of did like her at the end, too, because I'm like, I could see, I think there are qualities, all women have a Sarah component to them. I really want to believe that. Like, there's some parts of her that literally all of us possess, of course. So without giving away too much, obviously, tell us a bit about Sarah and what makes you, in your opinion, what makes you think what brought it home for you? What components of that character scream the words best female actor to you? Oh man, I guess since she's hiding who she really is the whole time. Yes, I don't know if I want to give everything away, but no, you don't. Since she gets to hide a secret the whole time. That's what was exciting about playing. You know, kind of. It's nice when you get to like cover up when you're an actor and there's something going on underneath and you get to cover it up. I think that's always fun to do. Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. So. And, you know, the one thing I noticed, and I'll be candid, folks, and let you know this, the Sarah character, when I watch her, the more that I get to know Valerie, the less of Sarah I see in you. To be honest with you, it's hard to see a lot of the character traits that Sarah has. Are you similar to her at all? Because I see very little of her now. No, not really. Okay. No, I'm not. That's what I thought. Really similar to her, but I mean, oh, honey, it's okay. But, oh, you poor baby. I promise I won't keep her much longer. I promise. And I only ask that because that's a sign of an excellent actor. We talk about that on the show all of the time because of the fact that she's, you know, Valerie's walking into a room and she's making you believe, and she does make you believe in the course of this and many other characters that I've seen. I've watched your reel. I've seen other work that you've done.
that believability factor, which we talk about a lot. You're believable. I actually believe that you are capable of turning yourself on and off like a light switch in this character, which is in essence what Sarah does to a large degree. And it's a testament that, of course, not only is she believable, but you can walk out and say, okay, now I've met the real Valerie. Night and day. I'm just, like I'm saying, I just do. But make no mistake, there's a little Sarah in all of us. Trust me, there really is.
Of course.
There was some Sarah in me earlier today. For sure.
Yes,
I'm not pretty today, folks.
Oh, you're so funny. Yes, I'm pulling things from inside of me that are there. So, everyone's got all sides to them. Everyone gets angry. Everyone gets sad. Right. Everyone's got all sides to them. So, yes, I am pulling it out, but it's pieced together in a way where it where it looks a little different than who I am. Yes, of course.
Oh, my gosh. And not only that, you put together quite the stellar cast. I won't lie to you. I mean, obviously Rob goes alongside of you for a short time in the film. But it's not just Rob. It's just that whole cast of characters that you put together. And you had to pull them together relatively quickly, if I'm not mistaken. And I'd like you to talk a bit about that in terms of from start to finish, remind everybody again approximately how long it took to put everything together. And not only that, tell me the one thing that you're most proud of with this film, outside of the win, of course.
It was for a challenge, and we were a wild card team,
right.
So we actually didn't even know, none of us knew each other at all, and it really just so happened that we had some chemistry and got along and we were having fun. We loved working together and creating this thing together quickly. It was only 3 weeks, so a week of pre-production where we literally didn't have a script. Like, Rob wrote the script for the people that were in this group, and we just looked at reels to see what kind of person they might be. So we had a week of pre-production. During the next week, we were supposed to shoot at some point, and we shot for 2 overnight shoots, and then the next week was post-production. So just 3 weeks, and we were very happy and surprised with what we created in that time. We never thought it was going to be like that, but it was. It turned out great.
Absolutely turned out great. And that was my next question, which is, if somebody's listening in today, because I wasn't sure if you guys have solidified distribution or if it's going to be streaming somewhere. Is it on Amazon? Can anybody see it right now, or are you still doing the circuit?
No, we're still in the film. We're still in the film circuit. We're in the very early stages of the film circuit, so it might be going in the film circuit for the next year, and then we'll have to take the next step after that for everyone to see it. So right now, if you're in New York City, you can follow me on social media, and you'll be seeing when screenings are for any film festivals that are coming up. That's the only way you can see it right now.
That's right. In fact, as I just asked you that question, I thought to myself, hey, stupid, you were just at the Chelsea Film Festival, because I saw you were a panelist there. I didn't look to see if it was the falls that you were screening. Was that what you were screening, or were you just there as part of the panel?
Falls.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And I've been part of the panel, and the screening is actually coming up soon.
That's awesome. Absolutely wonderful.
Thank
you.
Well,
that brings us to future projects. Number one, I want you to get into some detail and talk about, and Robert will talk about it some more tomorrow, because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
He approached me after the festival, and he's like, guess what? We're working together. This is the whole reason I do my festival, by the way, folks, in part, is so that people can meet at the festival and work together. And now, look, they have a GoFundMe campaign for buying the farm. So give us a bit of the take on that. Talk to me a bit about what made you want to work with Robert on this project, and then tell us how we're doing as far as the GoFundMe project so far, because I haven't looked yet to see how you're doing.
Sure. So we are going to change the title. So we're still, we're in pre-production right now.
Okay.
We're talking about everything.
Sure.
We're changing the title to That Good Night. Originally, it was Buying the Farm. But that'll all happen very soon. You'll see all that change coming. But, Robert actually approached Rob and I after and said he had written something, and would we like to all produce it together and for us to be in it. And we read the script. We thought it was great. But as a producer, I thought, well, how the heck are we going to do this? There's a horse in it, and a farm, and an accident, you know, a car accident, and all this stuff. I said, how the heck are we going to do that? And after we talked to Robert, we found that he wrote it with all the things that he is surrounded with. He lives on a rescue horse farm. He worked as an EMT. So he has the horse, he's got the farm, he's got all the things that we need to make this incredible film. So we're super excited about it because it's a very ambitious film where we got to have a rig for a car and a drone, and it's going to be amazing. And so as soon as we read the script and we had our first talk on the phone, we decided we'd love to do it. We're super excited about it, and thank you, Cindy, for bringing us together. So
wasn't me. It was just that timing. I call it good timing. It's one of those things as far as that goes. And, of course, Robert and I will talk tomorrow more so about the GoFundMe campaign, how to get involved, the backstory with all that good jazz. I do also know that you have something else, Jill and the Bean. Now, that is not at GoFundMe status, right? That is finished or completed with its campaign, if I'm right?
It's in post-production, and there's a GoFundMe for that as well.
There is. Okay.
Yeah, it's in
I wasn't
post.
clear about that.
Yeah,
okay.
There is.
I gotcha.
So,
all right. Tell us about Jill and the Bean.
Okay, Jill and the Bean. Well, I wanted to make something while I was pregnant, and I actually was pregnant with my girlfriend who was due on the exact same day as I was, which I think is insane. Exact same day.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, yeah.
And she's an actress, and I wanted to do something together, so we decided to make a short film while we were very pregnant. Now, she ended up not being in it, but she wrote it. So it's about a pregnant woman who is recently single and deciding whether she wants to stay where she is, where she's away from her family, and do this independently, or her family wants her to move home, which is, out of the city and away from everything she loves. So it's her dilemma of what to do, bringing this child into the world. So I also made that one with Rob Figueroa, and Mr. Chatty wants to talk over here. And it was really challenging to make because I was 8 months pregnant when we shot it, but we did it, and I'm very happy with we have our final cut of it made, and we're still working on sound and everything with it. It's in post-production, like I said. But I was really happy that we did it. I wanted to do something. Again, I thought, oh, I'm going to have a baby, and I'm not going to be able to do anything afterwards, which is not the case.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, listen to you. Well, do we have any idea in terms of anticipated release as it relates to Jill and the Bean?
I would say in the next 2 months it should be complete. The guy who's editing it is He's in school right now, so he's a little delayed. So we're working on it, though. We're working on it, and of course now we've occupied ourselves by producing another film. So we'll have two things going here, but we will get it done. Yeah,
that's awesome. Absolutely. So let me just say, can you believe it? I see this to people all the time. We're almost at 90 minutes. Can you believe that?
Oh, my God.
Here I thought, it'll be like 45 minutes, and look at that. We did. Well, you know what happens? It's easy. And see, I knew that your baby would be able to hold off almost an hour and a half, and I'm like, we just got it in completely. I
can't believe it.
He sounds so cute. So there's 3 business things we have to do before I let you go. And he wants to talk to me. I knew when I got on the phone, he'd be like, why are they excluding me? Why am I? See, he totally does. Can you tell us a little something about your mommy, little guy? Tell us about your mom. Tell us what you like about her.
Well, we stood up
she
now.
Feeds me. She loves me.
He should
now that I put him on the spot, he's like, no, I can't talk right now. Okay, so I want to remind you and my listening audience of a couple different things. First of all, within 2 hours of this show, it becomes archived. So I think I mentioned to you, you'll have a link on Blog Talk Radio. I put it on my YouTube channel, and I'll send it over to you. So this way you have copies of both so that they're there as far as that goes. So you have that. I'm going to read off a list of all the various places to find her. There's like 70 of them. So everybody the baby will be quiet for like 2 full minutes because that's how long it takes me to read all of this. Please pronounce your last name so I don't screw it up.
Lonigro. It's Italian.
Lonigro. See,
Yep.
you Italians, I'm telling you, I'm surrounded by Italians everywhere. So we have been speaking to the lovely and talented Valerie Lonigro, and it's spelled Lonigro. So these are all the places to find her. She has a website, obviously, which is her name, Valerie. Oh, my God, I just screwed it up already. Lonigro.com. Lonigro. She has an IMDb profile. Her Instagram is the letter V and her last name. She has 2 presences on Facebook that I'm aware of, which is her personal Facebook page, along with the movie we were referring to, which is The Falls, of course, is the name of it.
Yes.
She is on Tumblr, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, Vimeo, the GoFundMe.com, and again, the name of the 2 different ones. At present, I believe the other one's not changed, right? So it's still the
they can still
Jill and the
donate
Bean,
today.
as well as Buying the Farm, of course, which is our involvement with Robert Rosenbaum as far as that goes. Her Twitter handle at Valerie Lonigro, and of course the training site is www.vlotraining.com. If you folks want to get set up, whether you're in the area in terms of New York and New Jersey or any of the surrounding states, feel free to go ahead and utilize that. You're also, I believe you're on YouTube as well, correct?
There's some things are on YouTube. I don't have like a channel or anything, but yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, gotcha.
Some of my short films and things on YouTube. Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay, and also I don't want to forget, there's this cute little ditty that she's got on her website you should check out. It's called Chaos Corp. I started to watch it. I ran out of time. I wasn't able to watch the whole 9-minute feature.
Yep.
But there's 9 minutes of that that's on the
end.
website.
That's when it gets really good.
Yeah, right. It'll probably be another surprise. So I'm like, I did not get an opportunity to be able to see that as of yet. So I'm like, okay. So we've reached the point in our show where 2 things happen. So I'm assuming you've not heard my show before. So there's 2 things that happen at the end of my shows. I always have a surprise for somebody. So there's the surprise factor. And then I get to tell you what I think of you. And it better be nice. Your son's probably going to start screaming while I'm talking. So I better watch it. Okay, so for the surprise component, obviously, of course, there's more than one surprise here because now that I'm talking to you, it reminds me that I have to send you something in your email, which I have forgotten to do. So I will take care of that surprise myself, alternately off the air. My surprise for you is I always think about something that I can do to excite people and get them worked up and say, oh, my God, she's so lovely. Obviously, you won at my festival, which entitles you, of course, to this interview along with the review, and I haven't forgotten you. And, yes, you will be getting a review soon. I am doing a written review of The Falls. So for those of you that didn't get an opportunity to see it, keep your eyes open because I publish in multiple different platforms. I'll send you a copy of that, and then it goes off and gets all over the place. And apparently my reviews these days are averaging about 7,000 a site, so this should get you a good 30,000 or more with their eyes on that. So that's exciting. She obviously got her wonderful trophy. She will be getting her monetary award for the festival. She also gets what you don't know is that there's a catalog that I did last year of all the film reviews. So I'm going to put the reviews of this year combined with last year. I'm going to slap them into one big catalog and go ahead and sell them in the hopes that we can get more money back to you guys, which is always exciting. But the one thing that I forgot that I didn't offer you outside of everything else is I am doing a feature next year. And it occurred to me today that Valerie's probably the only person I didn't talk to about being in it. So I'm like, I should probably say, hey, Valerie, would you like to be in a feature film next year? So she can scare the hell out of me on a set because she scares me now. And she's so pretty and thin and short and pretty. And we'll talk about that off the air, of course. But I'm like, I at least have to throw that out there and be like, okay, we'll get the buzz and the excitement going that she's got another role to look forward to. We might even be able to fit the little man in there, too. That'd be kind of exciting. We could like a little baby, little teddy boo-boo in there. It'd be so cute. Actually, it would be more like you and your husband because the movie's all about love. So I'm like, yeah, you and your husband fit the prototype of that quite well, if he'd be willing to be in front of a camera. He may not be as excited as you are about that stuff. So I'm like,
I don't know about all that.
Exactly. Okay, which brings us to the very end of my interview always includes me getting to tell you what I think of you. And oftentimes these different things come on different reactions to people. I've had people cry. I've had people they don't know what to say, so they've gotten very silent. This is also the only part of my show that's not scripted. I do not write this. That means it's genuine, and it's 100% from my heart. And I always feel that's important because then audience members will gravitate to you not just because you're a good actor, but because you're a good person. So here it goes. These are my impressions of Valerie, and this is why I think that you should follow her around and stalk her and watch every single thing that she does. First of all, I can tell you that as a film festival founder, when I got the news that she was accepted for the film, I frankly was afraid to approach her. First of all, her character left something in me, and I can't give it away, so I'm not going to say what it was. But she was very intimidating. So right off the bat, she had that look where I was like, oh, my gosh, she's going to wipe the floor with me. She's probably mean. She's Italian. She's going to scream at me. First of all, the first thing you need to know about her is she's probably the most delightfully down-to-earth, lovely person wrapped up in this package of, this is what I mean. And literally, as an actor, it serves her well, and as a person, it serves her even better to know that when you meet her and you talk to her and you spend time with her, she's really, really refreshing. She's very, very real when it comes to, she means what she says. She's extremely genuine. She's also probably too humble for her own good. I see that she has a difficult time with taking praise, which is something she should probably be getting used to. One of the most exciting parts... I know. One of the exciting parts about being a festival founder is handing an award to somebody who is so very appreciative of it, who is so very over-deserving of it. I don't think she really realizes that for the amount of time of screen time that she spends, she leaves a lasting impression upon her audience. Sometimes it can be fear. Sometimes it can be laughter. Sometimes it can just be, gosh, that girl is just cute and lovely and pretty, prancing around on the stage like that. Leaving an impression with an audience member means when they walk out the door, they're likely to remember you again and again, and they're going to follow you over and over. That is a quality, my dear, that you're very blessed to have. Not every actor has that. More importantly, every single picture that you look at always shows the very best side of her. That's because her insides are really absolutely beautiful. I can tell you firsthand that she is a stand-up gal who's very, very, very heartworthy. And by that I mean she means everything that she says, and she has this pure heart. She just has the biggest and most beautiful intentions for people. Again, that's another quality that serves you well on a set. Why? Because people want to work with you. I've talked to people behind your back who speak very highly of you. And the three things that are most said about Valerie are honest, hardworking, professional. Those, again, very good attributes to have, not only as an actor, but more so just as a person. I can also tell you by watching her progression for the first 3 months, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that she'll probably be one of the best, brilliant, brightest, and most supportive parents in Brooklyn I've ever seen. She adores her child, she adores her husband, and she really does adore her friends as well. So one of the coolest parts about meeting you at the festival is that you are probably one of the more generous, gifted, genuine human beings that I've met in quite some time. So congratulations for restoring my faith in people. You're just absolutely lovely. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations for the work you've done. Congratulations with the award, of course.
Thank you.
And thank you so much to your son for actually being quiet for 90 minutes.
I can't believe you did it. Thank you so much. That really touched
my gosh,
Cindy. It was really sweet.
Thank
you.
Oh, well, it's very honest and it's very deserving. Of course, I'm hoping that when you get the review, you'll be very thrilled with it. I'm sure you will. I will send you a copy. I'll send Rob a copy. I would hope that by the end of this month, everybody will have their reviews and you'll get them out and get them. And hopefully it'll get you, some attention and notice, because folks, believe it or not, independent film needs support. I mean, they're not Hollywood. It's tougher to get things made. It's tougher to get noticed. So definitely go out and notice everything that she does. And, of course, I will certainly make sure, if you want to call in tomorrow, by the way, Robert's on at 10:30 Central Time. So if you want to join our conversation, feel free. Now I'm going to let you go back and take care of your little boo-boo. And I'm sending you love from Wisconsin. And I hope to see you soon.
Sending it right back, and I really appreciate this talk today. Thank you so
Anytime.
much.
I'll see you soon, my dear. Have a great weekend.
Okay,
all right,
take
care, dear.
Too.
Bye.
Thank you too.
Tell me she isn't beautiful, right? I couldn't help myself. I know I keep saying I'm not going to do these long shows, and then before you know it, we're talking for an hour and a half. My deepest thanks to Malachi and, of course, obviously to Valerie. Again, one more time, her name is Valerie Lonigro. It is Lonigro. She is found in the following places: Tumblr, Pinterest, Google+, Vimeo, LinkedIn, and IMDb. The website, ValerieLonigro.com. The personal training, www.blotraining.com. Twitter handle @Valerie Lonigro. GoFundMe.com. You can look for the two different films, Buying the Farm as well as Jill and the Bean. Also, Instagram, Lonigro. And of course on Facebook, she has got her personal page. You can look it up, as well as the Falls Film. Go ahead and please check those guys out. And of course, reminder, Natalie Roy's production, which is Let's Play the Create podcast. I just want to say thanks so much to everybody sticking in today. Thanks so much for all your well wishes on my behalf in terms of, it's been a rough couple of weeks. So I thank you guys so much for listening and letting me lean on you. You guys have a great afternoon. I'm going back to work, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.
When it's really good, it's like the first time all over again. The performing arts are crazy like that. Whether it's your first time or you just wanted to feel that way, mkearts.com can take you there. The United Performing Arts Fund invites you to experience a night to remember. When it's really good, it's like the first time all over again. The performing arts are crazy like that. Whether it's your first time or you just wanted to feel that way, mkearts.com can take you there. The United Performing Arts Fund invites you to experience a night to remember.